Hi everyone, Marianne from the Dutch Foodie, and today I'll be talking to you about air fryers because air fryers are a bit of a minefield, and people keep asking me, should I get one? Is it worth it? Is it just going to be a gadget that's going to be stuck at the back of a cupboard? And just in summary, before I even go into the detail, it really depends on what it is you want from it and how many people you intend to feed, right? So let's start with the most basic one. I inherited this from my dad. It's a very basic Philips air fryer, and this is what the early models of all air fryers used to look like and used to work like. It comes with a basket which pretty much looks like a deep fryer basket sitting in here, dishwasher safe, and it doesn't have any fancy LEDs. You have to preheat it with a dial function, but to be honest, I inherited it. It was my first introduction to an air fryer, and I pretty much liked it. If you don't have 6 or 8 people to feed, then it does the job. And also, air fryers in general, they do actually do more jobs than just air frying, okay? If you Google online for the models that you have, you'll find baking recipes, you find dehydrating recipes, you find all sorts of other ways of using them. So, but yeah, good basic value, very cheap. There are upgrades to this model now which are fancier with LEDs and, you know, flickering lights and disco balls and all this kind of stuff, but good basic air fryer. I then moved on to the Tefal ActiFry Genius XL because it is rather large. It's not as high, but it's rather deep and completely different principle. If I can just show you, this comes with a paddle which you can take out, which means that when you have chips or vegetables or whatever in here, this will slowly continue turning, and therefore you don't have to shake it about as you need to do with this one and also this one, which I'll come to next. Without the paddle, you can have more fragile items in there, and again, there are baking recipes and all sorts of other things that you can do in the Tefal. Capacity, it is said to take 1.7 kilograms. Now, I don't know if that's 1.7 kilograms of chicken or 1.7 kilograms of chips or of cake. I don't know. So I would say that you would easily feed, if we go on a chips thing, which is what we're going to use as a test here, I would say that this would easily feed a family of 4 to 5 with chips very easily. Now then, this one is a prototype. It's not out in the UK. I've been sent this for testing for the past 4 weeks. I've been having a lot of fun with this, actually. It's a Ninja Foodie Max Health Grill and air fryer. It also does dehydrating. It has a cooking probe. It has a grill plate as well, by the way, which I have found rather useful, except that you can't store it in the unit. Different story altogether. And from an air fryer perspective, this comes with a crisping basket which sits over the cooking tray. It does require you to shake things about every once in a while, like with this Philips one, and this one you don't. So where am I going to go next? I am going to test, being Dutch, having grown up in Belgium, I can but test these with anything other than chips. Cut from fresh Maris Piper potatoes, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to distribute those over these 3. I have, by the way, pre-soaked these for 30 minutes because 2 of these units suggests that the other one doesn't, but I want to give them all the same treatment. And I'll come back in a little bit to let you know how they came out in these 3 different units. Hey guys, welcome back. So my air frying of my chips is done, and I've put them in the same order as I presented the air fryers to you. So this is the Philips, this is the Ninja prototype, and this is the Tefal Genius XL. I've put them all on paper because I want to see how much fat is still left on each. Don't know if you can see that. Reasonable, I'd say. Then on the Ninja, oop, I think a few went across there, but never mind. Pretty much the same. And the Tefal Genius. Remember, I did these all in one large bowl, so none got more or less oil. On the Genius, strangely, I think there's a little less there, but anyway, I've cooked these to the manufacturer's instructions. So this meant that for the Philips, you have to preheat and then add the food halfway through, shovel it about, halfway through, shovel it about. I will admit that whenever I shovel things about in the Philips, there is a risk of things disconnecting and chips going everywhere. So, and yes, that happened. So I'm glad I didn't video that for you, but that's that. Same for the Ninja air fryer. It has a set program. These were actually at 200 degrees, whereas these were at about 180 or 185, but instructions were 200 degrees. And I think you can tell that they are quite a bit darker than the other 2. And again, you need to shake it about halfway through, whatever, which is a bit of a pain, but anyway. And then these are from the Genius, the Tefal Genius Active Fry, and you don't need to move them about because it's got the paddle bit going on. And from a color perspective, I'd say these would be the best. They would win the beauty competition. But let's do a taste a la crunch test and see where we go. So excuse my nothing wrong with that. Not extremely crunchy. Excuse me. And actually, from previous experience, I would say that the Philips would be more suited to pre-cooked or frozen chips rather than fresh chips as we've done today, because these, although they have the right color, taste like they are the pre-fried version before you go crisp them up. So I wouldn't say that's the biggest success, but I do know from experience that frozen and pre-cooked, they work absolutely fine, absolutely fine. This is the Ninja one. Excuse me again. Similar to the Philips. I'd say, again, they look like they're done, but I, again, know from experience that with pre-cooked chips and frozen chips, this will do absolutely fine, and you can have a capacity of 1.5 kilograms of frozen chips in the Ninja, and you'll be absolutely no problem at all, as good or better as doing them in the oven. My Genius, yeah, out of the 3, sorry, but these taste, although they're the lightest, these taste the most like they should. I've actually taken them out a little bit early because the other ones were ready, so the color would have been probably similar, but from a taste perspective, these taste cooked. These taste, the Ninja and the Philips taste like they need some more. However, generally on air fryers, other than chips, they are a great healthy alternative. I'm a great fan, to be honest. I did some chicken wings in it the other week, which I normally do in the oven. I parboil them, let them dry overnight in the fridge, and then usually bake them. I did them in the Ninja the other week, and the amount of fat that was in the dripping tray, I was actually quite amazed. Now, fat is juiciness, I get that, but they tasted amazing. They were crispy, they were crunchy, they were absolutely marvelous. So I'm not going to knock that. The Philips old style here at the back, bless him, is a good basic. It's a good basic. And if you mainly do ready foods and frozen foods and pre-prepped foods, nothing too fancy, and you don't have a large family, this is very much value for money. Ninja will serve about, I don't know, minimum a family of 4, if not 6, depending on what you're doing. And the Actifry, the Tefal, less functions again than the Ninja prototype, but we have to wait and see what they're going to bring out, if anything that even matches this prototype. But for me, this is my air fryer. This is why I bought it. I did a lot of research, and for me, the Tefal Actifry, at least 1 kilogram, if not 1.5 kilograms of frozen French fries, if you want to call them that. You know, the Finny Matchsticks one. I use them for roast vegetables. I do all sorts in it, and yeah, that's my top pick. There you go. So see you next time, and I'll love to hear your feedback. Take care.